Stay 775 the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciate. Today we're doing Simon tough pay sifal to tough pay gimel sifal tough pay. Say the kosavi bahalo bahalo gadol. Fourth cup hollow and the great hollow. V'char sheshos the kosa shlishi after drinking the third cup. Nogi lamar shvul chamoscha. Say the paragraph shvul chamoscha. The talk we open the door. So let's go shulel shmur to commemorate that this is a night of preservation. As a result of this belief in Baruch's protection, Yavo Mashiach Yishbach Chamos Bavliim Shkov Beis Hamikdash. Well, the interesting thing brings down the Bavliim sounds like a bit of censorship. And the matter of Amura, Mashiach will come and pour out his anger on the Babylonians who destroy the Beis Hamikdash. Balki Kodama, perhaps because Shvol Chamoska is from Tanakh, so therefore it has to apply to the Bavliim, but also to the Romans by extension. But since before Mashiach comes, Eliyahu comes, at least according to one opinion. Even nation Navi leaf Neva Gomer. Old coast band so Shulchan Dev as customs the cup in the middle of the table. Current also kosher show the cup of Eliyahu. Yeshogim Mamud may haseva. They're those who have the custom to stand up, arise, and to lomar baruch haba and to greet Eliyahu Navi. How kol chizuk emuna, all of this is to strengthen our emuna. Ki kol kachan umukubalim shem nisan digalu as nisan tiyin digal. The Geula took place Nisan, eventually take place in Nisan as well. It's a Kam Rosh Hashanah. Chaim Beis Gemara Esther Kodem Amiras Lo Lona B'Chul Gomer Ki Yishchal Tin Kavod. Before we say the rest of Hallel, we say which is about the covenant of Hashem. On Misom Shitin Kavod Kavod Lishma God Yisbarach. We arouse ourselves and so hope that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives honor to His great name by redeeming us. Beis Umoskin Kosavi, we pour the fourth cup. Maschil lo lano, we begin lo lano, v'gomer as how we complete halal. Shmagil halucha, when we get the halucha, mer halal gadol. According to Nusach Ashkenaz, the halucha, you say, well, actually, we're going to see in Gimel what the nuschos are. You say halal gadol, shemizor shechavav hodu, which is the kapitel with the 26 hodus, and so forth until the end. Chacham and Nishvas, they say Nishvas, Nikra Birchas Hashir B'Gemara, and the Gemara Nishvas Birchas Hashir. If you should be sure, Basi your time. Almost a Psuki de Zimra, because on Shabbos Yom we say it after Psuki de Zimra. So Zimra, Shir, they're connected. V'yinei Chof of Hodu, and connected Chof of Deros, Shkodem at the Torah, Shkodesh Baruch Hu, Zono Sam B'chasa. 26 Hodus correspond to 26 generations until Mount Torah, which were not sustained by their own merit, because they didn't have Torah, but rather by the Chesed of Hashem. The Nikra Halal, God is called the Great Halal, Mishum D'Ksiyu, Nosin Lechem Chol B'Osa. That Hashem, it says that Hashem gives bread to all flesh. So Baruch sits, so to speak, at the height of the world. Mechalik Mazoyis Kolberia, and he distributes sustenance for all creatures. Since Pesach, we came underneath the wings of the Shekhinah, and he promised us, Shal won't leave us, and will forsake us, Lanetzah, for eternity. That's why we say this on the Seder. Gimel, at the Seder. Gimel, being a chasim was halal in terms of how we sign off that halal. Rabbi of there, so many opinions. Rabbi Yisrael Kosesh Shomer Nishmas Yishtabach Ad Kim Yolam Ba'ad Olam Atokel, which is until the very last line before the chasimus of bracha and halal. The Mechaki you have a Charchi Omar Yishtabach Ad Kim Yolam no. Yeah, our Muslim is different than the base case. The Bishop points out our Muslim is Me'atavi Ad Olam. Okay, so you say now how we say K'mam Ba'ad Olam Atokel at the end of the Tala. So according to our Muslim, it's until Me'atavi Ad Olam, and then instead of doing the Chasim of Yishtabach Omar Charchi Alucha, we go to shift Alucha Chosei Melchum Lo B'Tishbachos, and we sign up Melchum Lo B'Tishbachos. But according to Kukas Alucha Mar Chahal Ad Bracha. That you say Alucha after Halal up to the Bracha, and then Akarka you switch off to Nishmas Yishtabach, and you could sign up with the Yishtabach. Because what Taisus Shom. And that's what the Taisus say. But now looking at Beis Yosef, our customs like the Beis Yosef. Mishnah say, some say like the Poskim to say immediately after Halal Alucha, and some says that the Shulchan Aruch I guess in some it's like this minute, like that minute. Each minute, any minute works. After the bracha, we make a bracha after the bracha, where it's malach modabat yishbachos uh, um, or the end of Yishtabach, whatever it is. Skipping my mind a moment. You then you make a fourth bracha. Actually, make the fourth coast, and we make a bracha on the fourth coast. We sheep sikum how goes interrupt with Hallel. But anybody says the pasuk below bracha, the Rabbi says without make a bracha. They don't know Gim Kain. That's not our custom. We do make a bracha on each of the four closes. Much custom sim is to find out. But shows by saying we drink our reclining. You lawyer say we did not recline. These bar sim to find base. That Allah has been already discussed. We shall say kulok de baruch baruch achroida al gefen. You drink the entire cup in order to make a achroida of al gefen kulek. And then you say the ritual poetry based on your custom. Yeshen shosim arachar miras putim. Those who don't drink the fourth cup until after they say the putim, then that goes to that way, and those agodas no longer exist today. Mishnah says putim you say after drinking the cup, because the putim are only a minute. Maram will drink after putim, so that he will for a practical reason, so he shouldn't be thirsty when he went to sleep at night. Okay. But Arukh HaShulchan says it's not proper to push up the fourth coast. So they're supposed to be immediately after Hallel. Brackets, he says, the base says, if you drank without reclining, you drink again with reclining, but fun of Bar Piagafen. And you gotta make a Bar Piagafen before it. Because you're ready by erroneously, so you're not going to drink any more cups. They'll stand to find base. They mean the Deus. Opinion, so you don't have to go back and drink reclining. You can say how even somewhere else, other not the place we had Yisuda. But nevertheless, it's best to do it in the place where Yisuda. To drink all the cups in one place. Mishnah Berurah says you don't have to be makbid to drink all the four cups in one place. So in this case, Mishnah Berurah is more meko than the Arukh HaShulchan. Tough pay olive. Dinim achar seder. The halachos for after the seder. Al kabbalah isab yada geinim. There's a kabbalah in the hands of the geinim shemiyah rotzi shtos kos chamish shres. You want to drink a fifth cup, you're allowed to. Chen kos avaram perches is oshono. V'char kach mosek kos avi. According to Ram says you pour the fourth cup. We're going to love a sound which you complete the olive. Omar lo birchas hashir. They say the birchas hashir. V'hu yalucha Hashem kol ma'asecha. That's yalucha Hashem. V'vorech bar pia gafen. And make a bar gafen. Ve'eno toim achar kakum kol so lai l'chutz in mind. You don't taste anything last night except for water. Yesh lo limso kos chamishi. You're allowed to pour a fifth cup. V'lomar lo halagodol. And say the halagodol. Mehodol Hashem. Kitov ad aval naros bovel. Without saying al naros bovel, which you don't say. Kos ein chavak gemara, because this cup is not mandatory like the four cups at kalashono. Kain asukir sasa gemara. There was also such a gear in the gemara. Chamish omer halagodol. The fifth cup is say halagodol. Veina who got Pi Rashi Rashbam argues based on Rashi Rashbam does not have that. According to argues, it's Revi. Standard halal and halagodol, not Chamishi. But I ain't shum. But Tur Herich B'Sei Tur spends a long time talking about this. Yesh Omer those who say Shebekos Revi Messiah B'Rechos Yalucha. The fourth cup you can use to finish Yalucha. V'Rechos Halagodol and the Brach of Halagodol Messiah B'Rechos Yishtabach and Brach Yishtabach. In which case you use both chasimos, not either or. Either one of Halagodol and one of Yishtabach. We use both at different times. Yeshu Amru Sheshois Havi B'Lo Chasima. Those who say the fourth cup, you drink without a chasima, without an independent bracha, or that of Halagodol or the Yishtabach. I ain't sure goes my money. Me on a ladin misev on a ladin rock arukos. We don't know fifth cup, 5 cups. We only use 4 cups. Beiseshu going to dafka kon shu muchach lekos chamishi. I'm going to say that this whole concept of having a fifth cup is if you want to have one. If you're actually, I'm sorry. Shamu dafka kon shu muchach lekos chamishi. When you compel that fifth cup, you go to tell the show such as when you're very thirsty. Moshe Yosef Yosef Tuv Elam Bepiyut Elokei Chotz Shabbos Agon Ayin Sham. That is a piyut which matches this. The Zeresh Kos Rabbi Ramah the Mishu Eastiness. That's Ramah wrote something sensitive. The Torah Rabbi the Shtos is very thirsty. Chol Shos Kos Chamishi. You can drink a fifth cup. V'Lomar Elam and to say in Halagodol Kalashono. We don't know from such a minhag. Gimel. V'zish kaz Rosh Hashanah l'chach l'shostain elamayim. We've already talked about this a few times. The kach kain kaz l'kamarif v'hikshah Rosh. Rosh asked Hatnan, aim after an achar Pesach afikoman. It says now to bring up more food after afikoman. Avlisho shar, but the drink is permitted. I chop. Miminakon kol goyim. The whole world is like the goyim. We don't drink any, at least intoxicating beverages, as we saw after the fourth coast. After the third coast. Rabbein, after benching. Rabbeinu Yoino Peter Shatal Bishachayev Adam Lasso Kolai B'Tzias Mitzrayim. Rabbeinu Yoino said the reason because we have a simple night to be involved in telling the Tzias Mitzrayim. Stop every eating flows. Tell over the miracles and wonders. Shas on Hakadosh Baruch Hu actually could finish it until we're seized by sleep. Can you stay yain o takvenu sheina? I'm sorry. Yeah, o takvenu sheina miyad. Don't fall asleep too soon. Those who say we said before, not to negate the taste of matzah in your mouth. Chomashkim also by mayim, all water is also except for mayim, the lakrits, some sort of licorice water, mezanvil and ginger water, shikorin ingberwasser, ginger ale. Mutzah that's permitted. Okay, say seltzin. That's deja vu. I think we had this last night. Seltzer, limonade, and lemonade mutter was a siman tough on ches. Avo apple trunk. What is apple trunk? It's like apple cider. You press apples in a press. God only have a significant taste. Also, that is forbidden. Dal kol bedin lelel rishnoi ganke belel sheni. The halachas of the first night and starts to complete apply the second night. I feel lenient slowly tam klum, even in terms of not tasting anything achar seder. Kanken imagine nogim kol belel rishon, those who are Mahadar mitzvahs, they have the custom to second night as well. The custom is to say the custom is because the Shemurim only to say Shema and Hamapil, not the rest of Krishma Mita. Yeah, as it says, if Loshari Mizmarim should get on the coast to me near Shmira. Don't say the other Mizmarim that we normally say because it's for safekeeping. The Lil Pesach, the Lil Shumri near Zvikim, because Lil Pesach we are safeguarded from the damaging forces. Tough bay base. Dimish Elo El Kazayas Matzah Shmura. But only has a one Kazayas of Shmura Matzah. I guess he was ahead of time, obviously, perhaps the person before. We talked about it to not know. Aleph. Kasav Ramam so Perkas Mishael Matzah Shuras El Kazayas. Kuzomas Sudaso Mi Matzah Shein Mushameres. You should eat the rest of the food from matzah, which is not mishumar. The barachas matzah, and then the end of the meal you make a matzah of ochos or gazais, and then you eat that gazais. Veino toim achrav kum. You don't taste anything afterwards. Akal shoro. Shita surrounded by shimon shas kitzira. According to Rama's approach, they need to have watch from the time of harvesting. Calling me a pesach. That's the entire pesach, which causes him type of nigel ayin chum. That is l'shita. That's l'shita. Ein lo shmur kazu. If he doesn't have this type of shmura at all, chita shalom namar lo. We're not going to tell him to show chal kolim pesach. We're not going to tell him not to eat pesach. The kol ikar shmura whom divrei soifim. The entire concept of shmura is the drabanan, which comes around Barakeh. The Rashi tases that shimon lishma. When Rashi tases b'klal, the shimon is for the purpose of lishma and not for the purpose of keeping chachamets. Lishma lo mikra shmura. But it's not lishma. It's not called shmura. But that's only a issue on the first night, not on any other nights of Pesach. Says that in terms of mikra din, it's enough to have shmura from the time of grinding, and b'shas of chak, it's enough to have even shmura from the time of kneading. But some people machmer to require from the time of harvesting. If he doesn't have matzah, which is mishumah from the time of harvesting, only kazais, the other mitzvah matzah he has is only mishumah for the time of kneading, then he should make the bracha on the kazais, which is mishumah shas kitzira at the beginning, hamotzi, and achilas matzah, and kodesh you make from matzah mishumah from the time of kneading, and also afikomen as well. Um, base. I'm not explaining according to this opinion when you eat more on korach. V'arif because of shilcham more acher kazai shmura. You eat the more after the kazai shmura. Gamis the korach should also make korech. After the kazai are if you come, you should eat anything. I ain't chum. You can't mail shochel more as mikoyim. So in this case, you eat the more before it. Ochel more korach matzah. Even though you eat the more before you eat the matzah, it's not a problem. So that's what maybe he says. Because the machine the matzah mishmeret so kazai. V'achil more. You make achilles mora and eat the mora, and evidently, presumably your meal. When you finish the suda, the matzah she'edim mishumeres. Losing matzah is not mishumar. The barachlios matzah, make the barachlios matzah. So kazais, and you eat that from the kazais. Ve'eno toim achrav klum, and you don't eat afterwards anything. Akal l'shona. So it says means after you make that you are making a motzi at the beginning, but matzah is not mishmur. That's not clear from the Arukh HaShulchan. No, when he has two gzeisim, motzi, he one at the beginning, but one at the second at the end. I make the korach with matzah, which is not shmura. Mishmura says the mechaber seems to hold that you don't need to make the sandwich in this case if you only have shmur matzah for gazais, and because matzah which is not shmura is not considered to be korach because it's not matzah at all. Shara Tzion says nevertheless, and Achronim would say you should do korach with matzah which is not shmura immediately after eating the maror. Not clear halacha, but Arukh HaShulchan is clear that you should do it. Back to Arukh HaShulchan, below tavshil. So a person who cannot eat something dry bread, dry matzah, yochel k'zayis matzah tavshil, she takes k'zayis matzah with a cooked dish. May yochel k'zayis, you can only eat k'zayis. Lo matzah, she eat beginning without matzah. How yochel k'zayis, then eat the k'zayis. At the end, you varach matzah and eat and make the bracha on it. Or yochel b'chor matzah shir, or eat before an egg matzah if he's that sick. You should be able to eat egg matzah. Mishmur says after the suda you can make a motzah matzah and eat. According to this, you're making, I guess you had no matzah beforehand, or he was a chayla, so you couldn't eat any matzah. Because you have to guess for first eat food, something like that. So you should eat the meal down until Sedayim. No, he says it for a different reason. Well. Okay, yeah. Misha Eilo Shnei Leilos Rak Shlosh Matzos. Those two matzahs for both nights together. Yochel B'Layla Rishonim Mimatzah. Achas the first night she for one matzah. B'Yasa Motzi Chils Matzah and she make a Motzi Chils Matzah on it. This time Yoniach Lil Sheni and do shli for the second seder. They shall Lechem Mishnah Lil Sheni, so she shall Lechem Mishnah for the second seder. Versus Moshe Avram says if it's possible for him to remove to leave the first night one prusa of kazais. You should leave it for the second night and put it between the two shlemos. She says right that you should not make should not set aside a piece for Afikomen the second night until after the bracha of Hamoitzi. I guess you don't have what to spare. Anyway, Pasha to the Ima Chasim Sabekas. It's clear if you don't have enough for one matzah for the Kazaysim Alai Rishon Kedemis, first night takes priority. In fact, it says here, Ayin Tashim Tard says, so Russian, so you know, Sham, Shaf Klal Dim, but Sekar Shem Shil Yehudim, whatever they tell you right here, it's about non-Jewish dough. We don't have that. Donu Loshim Al Shmorim V'Abeitech of Chometz. When we make dough, not for Pesach, we use yeast and immediately becomes fermented. Those days they had different ways of doing it, so it's possible that the non-Jews dough would be not chametz. They may lashim kicharoros like flat cakes. Tafigimel dimi shein lo yain. Somebody doesn't have wine. Mishain lo yain arbakos. Somebody doesn't have wine for the four courses. Kach made vach. Take honey wash going med imay mukomo shiragim. Lishos markazu chem chabekim medina. Place where they drink this as the beverage of the locality. Even Mishabur says, even though most here they don't drink that, the mead, only a Pesach, so it's good to Chem Medina for the purpose of Pesach. Which could seem in iron rage base. You know, some people don't say don't make Kiddushayim, become a Pesach, so Arbakosos, a Pesach eat 4 cups, we have Shakar Shabbat, come here, work on bread. Yeshes Mocham, which is very convenient, those is old, Shemakachu Shamashkin, we can make Kiddushayim and other beverages. Fraction after Gam Bechol Shon Makachu Shamashkin, especially since we do use other beverages the rest of the year. The chov kadosh al kol echad misoasi yain al abrakosos. And we had this before. If somebody can get the wine for the four kosos, it's a holy obligation to get it. The ein kos echad only has one cup. You can chedel kiddush, you should take a kiddush. 9, there's 2 cups. Kiddush mechas mother, 1 for kiddush, 1 for benching. Shloisha, there's 3. Tlink a seder, 1, 2, 3. Vali shablo kos, and how to do without kos. Kain shlam at yain vashari mashke med. Also, there's a bit of wine, and the rest is that med, the mead. Kanki kiddush koyim al yain mekulam. The wine is best used for kiddush. Vachal bilas mosne for batching. Vachal achal chadam. Then afterwards, after agara, v'loishon kam l'shem v'chol kosos. And the first night takes precedence over the second night for all the cups of wine.